My friends, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back here to another live tropical weather update here for today, being Saturday. Hope everyone's had a great weekend so far. Glad to have everybody here. Let's go ahead and hop our way over here to the overall view. But let's go ahead and see who we got here before we get on into it. Let's go ahead and see who is hanging out in the chat. We got ourselves, let's see here. Obviously, I was in there. We have Mary. We have Allie. Let's see. We have Maranatha. I don't know if I'm doing that right. Anyways, we have Crystal. We have, let's see here. Who else we got? We got North Carolina Outdoors. We have Aiden. We have Cassandra. We have Cool. What's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing good. Once again, glad to have you guys here. We got Trin saying hi. What's up, Trin? Hope you're doing good. But anyways, so yeah, we are watching the system still. Like I said, right now it is still a Category 3 hurricane. Sustained winds of 115. This says gusts being 0 miles an hour. I can assure you the gusts are a little stronger than 0 miles an hour. So actually, you know, I'd say actually probably 10 to 20 mile an hour higher than that overall. But sustained winds of 115, kind of low in Category 3. As I said, to be classified as a Cat 3, it has to have winds of at least 11, or at least 100, not 11. It has to have at least 111 mile per hour winds and sustained. Like I said, that's sustained. That's constant winds overall. But yeah, 111 plus. We're kind of cruising on the low end spectrum here. Let's see here. Let's see. Mary says, I enjoyed our conversation. Yeah. Let's see. Justin says, hello. What's up, Justin? Hope you're doing good. Where is Arctic today? She's at work. Yeah. If y'all don't know who Arctic, that's my girlfriend. You'll see her in here from time to time. But yeah, she's at work. Let's see. Pyrata says, hello. Here listening from work. Well, I'm glad to have you here. Like I said, glad to see that you're following along here as well. Anyways, so we do got some new information for you guys. There's some interesting stuff that's popped up here. Okay, I'm not gonna lie with you guys. Things are a little interesting now. Before we dive into the models and everything, like I said, before we dive into the models and all of that fun stuff, I do want to take you guys over here to the satellite view. So, obviously, this morning, we saw that the eye was completely, or obviously, you know, it's been gone for, you know, a little bit now. But we were talking about how the eye is, you know, essentially gone. The eye is no longer there, but it's definitely trying very hard right now to reestablish that eye. Now, apparently, like I said in my earlier live stream today, I was like, you know, watch there be an eye at the, you know, at the point of this live stream. Still has not got its eye together, but it's definitely really trying hard here overall. Like I said, we're getting some really big poofy convection out there in the end. Here, we're going to show you guys here the latest. Pause you guys right there in the last frame. So yeah, you can see, so the center of the storm is right here. That's the center of this bad boy. And you can see this really big plume of convection right there. So that's like, big time thunderstorm activity happening there towards the center of the storm, which, that's good. Like I said, the storm is no longer really battling that wind shear. Like I said, that's what caused it to rapidly weaken, was winds that were venting on the storm, not from the storm itself, but from a different system. It was like, a jet of winds just going right over the system, which was, shredding apart its structure overall. But it seems to have, gotten out of those winds. Now it's just trying to, reorganize itself. But like I said, I definitely do think that this thing is going to, probably develop its eye here, definitely by tomorrow, I'd say. But it will definitely, more than likely, redevelop that eye. Anyways, but yeah, let's go ahead and dive onto the models, because that's what I've been wanting to really kind of show you guys. There's some really interesting things that the models... Oh, I have two of those tabs open. There are some really interesting things that the models have started picking up here in terms of, the potential track and overall. Now, just know, one in particular model is not something you take for the entire forecast. You got to look at all the models. You got to take a look at all the main models, okay? So we're going to start off with the American GFS. This run's still coming through, but we are through the point to where we can look at it. So we continue to track our way to the northwest. Nothing new there. Get ourselves that cold front rolls through, causes the storm to basically to steer up to the north, because we are going to be getting ourselves a bit of a jet kick over here. So there's going to be a lot of strong winds going to be pushing over Florida in the upper levels of the atmosphere. And those upper level winds are going to actually help steer the storm. Probably cause it to weaken a bit too, but it's going to steer the storm because the winds are pushing to the northeast. And the storm, like I was saying, is, working its way to the northwest, so it's going to interact with those winds and, turn it to some degree. Whatever degree that is, it's still a little iffy. We still need to work that out. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. It turns kind of here for September 13th. So basically here for the 13th. So in about, I'm going to consider today mostly over. So in about 3 days, shows right there kind of for like the early 13th is when it starts moving north. But then, anyways, we get ourselves some high pressure there across the eastern country. Overall, you can see this big old ridge that we have, big old area of high pressure. This will be across portions of the Ohio Valley, portions here of the Tennessee Valley, even the Midwest, Mid-Atlantic, Northeast. And, like I said, with these high pressure systems, it honestly kind of helps the system overall, help keep it away from the coast. Now, according to the latest GFS model, actually I haven't really looked at it yet. This is the first time we're looking at it. Still is on that same agreement of it just continue pushing north and actually going right over there towards Nova Scotia, though. Nova Scotia. I think is that how you say it? Nova Scotia or Nova Scotia? I think it's Nova Scotia. I've always wondered that. Anyways, but yeah, no, the GFS has it going right over those regions there. Like I said, the GFS has been on point talking about that potential landfall for a couple days now. It's still not set in stone. Please know that. It's still not set in stone yet. There's a lot that can change on it. But what I really want to show you, now, don't freak out with this, okay? I want to show you guys what the latest European model has to say. Yeah, so the latest European model is a little crazy. Once again, this is not set in stone, so don't panic. Like I said, do not panic, because, this is, going to change more than likely, okay? But according to the European model, we still get that cold front rolls through. You can see you can't really see it right now, but the storm works its way up here. You can see, there we go. Those isobars starting to pull in, and according to the European model, it has it going right up on the northeast. And, what's really weird is that the model here yesterday, or not just yesterday, this morning, whenever we were doing this update, I could actually show you. Yeah, I'm going to backtrack to the first model, so you can see how the previous one, there you go. This is the model run from this morning, whenever we looked at it. And you can actually see how the system... was curving out, right? You can see how it's kind of curving out for the most part. Like I said, the new run, though, on the other hand, completely disagrees with what it once said, and has the system barreling a little bit more closer to the west. Like I said, that's not set in stone yet. That's just an idea from one of the models. This is the European model, the ECMWF. And the latest run does show it a little too close to northeast there. Actually having it making landfall right there near Connecticut and Rhode Island. Once again, like I said, guys, this is not set in stone. There's no reason to panic. There's no reason to freak out. I mean, because this is showing right around for September 16th to the 17th. I mean, today's only pretty much, we're coming up on the 10th. So this is, basically like 6-7 days out. 6-7 days out. So it's a while out. Let's see. Do I think there could be more hurricanes after Lee or not? Yeah. Because like I said, we're at the peak hurricane season right now. We're at the peak. this is the peak of hurricane season. We still got the falling action to go through. Let's see here. Is Margot a hurricane? Not yet, but Margot is expected to become a hurricane. Right now, Margot is a tropical storm with sustained winds of 45 miles per hour. Gusts aren't 0. I can show you that one. The gusts are, like I said, probably 10 to 15 mile an hour higher. But it is expected to become a hurricane. You know, the current National Hurricane Center forecast has this thing becoming a hurricane here for September 12th, right around the afternoon. So we're talking sustained winds around 75 with gusts getting up to 90, being a possibility. Yep, being a possibility. So it is expected to kind of just track north. You can kind of see the track is going to be well out in the ocean. I don't see any problems with this really right now in terms of anything, because it's literally in the middle of the Atlantic. It's kind of not even close to any areas of land. The closest areas of land it is near these islands up here. I forgot the name of these guys. But that's the closest. Let's see here. Who else? Let's see. Let's see. When am I moving to Florida? On the 7th of next month. So I won't be able to do anything on the 7th of next month because I have to move. Let's see here. Bone Mama says, hi, Andrew and fans. What's up, Bone Mama? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here. Let's see here. Lurking while I'm working. Love your work, Andrew. Thank you, Bone Mama. Very sweet of you. Let's see here. Tabletop coming in with a super chat here. Thank you so much, Tabletop. Let's see here. Your question is what is the odds of Lee hitting eastern North Carolina? First of all, thank you so much for the support. Very sweet of you. I appreciate that. So let's go ahead and hop you guys over here. So in terms of a North Carolina landfall, it seems fairly unlikely. That high pressure ridge that we're going to have across the Mid-Atlantic and the Ohio Valley should keep this thing away from a direct landfall of North Carolina. So, like I said, the odds are very slim. Very, very slim. You know, this system is expected just to track north overall. You know, kind of getting a little too close to Bermuda than what we like, but in terms of, like I said, the approach of North Carolina, let me show you something. So we have some ensembles. I'm sure you guys probably have heard of those before. These are not the you guys would mistake these for the spaghetti models. No, this is just one model that has a bunch of runs, a bunch of members, what we call them. So with this in particular run, you can see that none of those members, none of those model-ettes have it hitting North Carolina. So you can see the track is pretty solid and moving north and then just kind of doing its own thing up there. A lot of uncertainty at this point in the forecast, but you can see that there's no ensembles going out that way. And for an example, I'll even show you this. Here's the hurricane. These are the spaghetti models. These are the main models. These are a bunch of different models collective into one track here. And you can see how they're relatively, they're agreeing pretty well. But you can see they're well far east of North Carolina. Bermuda is around the same latitude as North Carolina. Let me double check on that. Actually, it's right there on the, right. So North Carolina would be like way over here. So obviously, this has it just passing well to your east here. And lastly, another set of ensembles. Now there's one model that, one little member that gets close to North Carolina, but you can see the majority of them far away. So I don't think that's going to be possible tabletop. I think this thing is going to remain out to sea for that point being. I will tell you though, I will mention this. There is going to be a threat for, obviously some swelling across the coastlines, as well as the potential here, like I said, as well as the potential here for some, let's see, rip currents as well. Rip currents is going to be a problem. Let's see, United States, we're going to pull out the East Coast. Here we go. So you can see the Carolinas here. We got North Carolina, we got South Carolina. So according to the GFS, or sorry, the ECMWF here, you can see those waves really starting to pick up here. This is showing right around the 12th. So this is basically about 2 days from now. Right around 2 days from now. Kind of the afternoon here of the 12th. But like I said, as this thing approaches and as it starts pulling north, those waves are definitely going to increase. Kind of showing there towards Nag's Head. Just off the coast there, the waves could be within 15 to 25 feet. It's possible. That's some really big waves. And so this is really important for the people, the boaters out there, for everybody who, likes to go out in the water. This is going to be a problem. Big, big waves. So you're going to want to stay. You're definitely going to want to stay to port, and you're going to want to be on land for the duration of the storm here overall, okay? And of course, like I said, a lot of uncertainty at this point, but, according to the models, I mean, there could be some really high waves off the northeast coast as well. More than likely, there will be some pretty big waves out there, but the exact number is very unknown right now because, like I said, obviously this determines on, or this, relies on the track, the intensity, and the size of the cyclone. There's a lot of things there that basically, can change the overall end scenario. Okay. So that's just something I wanted to let you know there. Let's see here. I heard the hurricane is weakening. It weakened a little bit. It's not weakening anymore. Right now, it's actually trying to get a little stronger, and it's forecasted to get stronger. Yep. So what was happening with it is we had a bunch of winds that were aiming at the storm, kind of ripping apart the inner structure of the storm, which it did not like at all. Lee did not like that at all. But like I said, those winds were just digging into the storm and ripping it apart, essentially, all the inner core, parts. But now the hurricane has moved out of that strong winds, and now it's basically, trying to regroup, reorganize itself. So right now it's not weakening. Right now it's kind of sustaining its same strength right now, if not slightly strengthening. So it's either maintaining strength right now, or it's either strengthening. I think it could be on the strengthening trend. Because, like I said, it's been looking like it's trying to get that eye to form here. Probably will form here pretty soon. So I bet you by tomorrow morning's update, I'm definitely confident that we'll probably have an eye on it again tomorrow morning. Because that heavy convection is definitely trying to make it to that. Let's see here. Hurricanes can merge, but they won't form as superstorms. That's correct, yes. Yeah, like I said, actually, there's something we call the Fujiwara effect, which basically, we have two cyclones, two hurricanes. They actually, instead of going right at each other, they revolve. They orbit each other, which is pretty cool. Let's see here. What percentage think that it hits New England? There's no given percentage I could really give you, considering that there's a lot of models that still need to work out some information for us. But I'd say, like I said, right now it's kind of a 50-50 shot. I'd say it's around 50-50. But, once again, I don't like doing that. I don't like giving a percentage on something right now, just considering how likely it is to change. Yeah, just considering how likely this is to change. I really don't like to give percentages on something that I'm still pretty unsure of, okay? Let's go and hop back over here. Let's see. Lee doesn't have an eye. Not right now. Not right now. Yeah. Back over here at the satellite. There you go. So it's trying. There's a center right there. It's trying. It's trying to get that eye back. Have chances increased for South Florida? No. They've decreased. Yeah, no. It's not going to hit Florida. It's not going to hit Florida. I can guarantee you that one. Because Florida is actually going to come and, save the day, actually, or the winds above Florida. The winds above Florida are screaming to the northeast, which is going to steer the storm to the north. Let's see. DJW says, my favorite weather guy to watch. Great job. Well, thank you for that. Really appreciate it. It's Dorothy from Florida. It's very sweet of you. I appreciate that. All right, let's go take a look at the CMC. This is a model we did not look at. So, I did want to mention, guys, before we look at the CMC, back at the GFS, I wanted to mention this is not just the GFS. This is a lot of other model, too. But we got to watch another tropical wave off the west coast of Africa, okay? It has a shot at developing into a potential system down in time. Obviously, it's a little... We definitely don't know what's going to happen at this point. I mean, this is like 200 plus hours out. But all we know is that there is a... Let's see. We'll actually go ahead and show you guys. It's actually visible. Let's see. Atlantic wide. Here we go. There we go. So we have a bunch of thunderstorm... Oh, it's kind of hard for you guys to see that. Here. On that last frame, you see all that thunderstorm activity over here? That's that wave. That's that potential wave that could roll through. So, we're going to have to watch out for that. Because it could be another system that could form. Let's see here. Joined a little late. Any chance we could see similar effects to Hurricane Sandy? To Shell? It can't be ruled out. like I said, it's not immediately likely right now. I mean, like I said, you know, the track is still, for the first 5 days, I mean, we're still talking the system, you know, just starting to pull north at that day 5 mark. So it's going to be a while by the time it gets up there. But at the moment, it can't be ruled out. Alex says we'll hit Maine. Same thing with that. It can't be ruled out, but there's no solid track on it yet. The models have not pinpointed an area yet. Digital says thank you. You're very welcome. Let's see here. Shirtman says we've seen some storms in West Virginia today. Yeah, there's actually a bit of storms. So I'll go and show you guys real quickly for a little bit of an off-topic thing. Oh, wrong screen. So we actually have some pretty nasty storms in Nebraska right now. See, we got a guy heading right there towards Stockville. Let's see here. Looks like it's got some pretty strong winds out there towards Moorfield. And I think this is a considerable severe too. Let's see. That one's for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, but it was warned for 2-inch hail. Not anymore. We did actually have some hail reported on it from a National Weather Service employee. It's very interesting. But anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look here at the CMC model, guys. Didn't forget about it. So let's go ahead and hop you guys back over here. All right, so here is the CMC. This is one of the other models. Look at the icon here, too. Let's see here. We have the 12 Zulu. This is the latest run coming through. So continuous northwest motion. Once again, we get a cold front rolling through. We get some amplified winds that go over Florida, push to the northeast here. Which, like I said, with the northwestern movement, so it's kind of doing something like this. So, for example, you have the hurricane tracking, let's see, I guess it would be this way for you guys, right? So the hurricane's tracking northwest, and you have the winds coming from Florida, so they're kind of converging and pushing up, if that makes sense. That's kind of what's happening here, to some extent. So we obviously have, you know, this thing moving northwest, the winds coming to the northeast, they're going to just clash, right? But then, like I said, once again, moving north here right around September 13th. This actually shows a little bit later. And then this one actually has like a little cold front hitting it, slightly steering it. You see that? So it pulls mostly north at this point being. It's mostly north. We get this weak cold front that hits it. And you can see it steer once that cold front hits. There you go. See, it's moved a little bit. And then it starts continuing back north. And then it has it going right over Nova Scotia there. And then to follow, like I said, that other tropical wave we need to watch out there for. That's another one we got to keep an eye out there for. Let's see here. That hurricane got way close to Florida. Thank God they didn't get hit there. See, there's Detroit by Ian. Oh, yeah. Are you talking about this one? Or are you talking about the last one we had, Idalia? Because, yeah, that one did hit Florida, but not in the same spot that Ian hit. Ian hit in southwestern quadrant Florida. Idalia hit up there in the Big Bend, as we were forecasting there. Let's see. We had thunderstorms in Myrtle Beach. Yeah, it's been a lot of storms today, actually. Let's see. I think we have a couple slight risks. Here, let me briefly show you guys this real quickly. We do got 2 watches out. We got one across, basically, a couple counties in northeastern Maryland, throughout Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York State. I got another watch in place for Nebraska, northwest Kansas, and one county in east central Colorado. And there's all the spaghetti models. So we still have that one. That tracks continue westerly. That's an outcast. Like I said, that's not gonna happen. Let's see here. See, there haven't been storms in Indiana. Nothing for a while. Interesting. Yeah, there's nothing going on right now. In terms of the outlook here, there is no risk for severe weather. And actually, you see the blue across the country, you guys? So across central eastern country, we're getting a cold front. It's actually going to be steering the storm here. But we have a cold front that's going to be cooling some things down. But for the west, it's going to be the opposite. Let's see here. West Virginia's in a marginal earlier. Yeah. Yeah, they updated it. Anyways, but we're going to move back over here to the models, guys. So now we're going to take a look here really quickly at the, so we looked at the CMC, the GFS, ECMWF, the Icon model. Let's see here. We have the 18 Zulu run. Let's see here. So Icon, yeah, so that one has it getting a little close to a little close to Bermuda, but we can still see that cold front. So that's a common ground now between the models. You know, like I said, the common ground is now is the fact that this system is forecasted overall. Like I said, this low pressure system is forecasted overall to roll through and kind of, you know, increase the winds here. For example, let me show you the GFS. So you have the same cold front right there, but you can see the winds we're talking about. We're getting ourselves a big jet going across the Gulf of Mexico, going over Florida and amping to the northeast. And then, like I said, we have the track of Lee, and Lee's going northwest. So you can see, like I said, they're going to converge, and then they're going to pull. So that's kind of what's going on here. They're kind of like, essentially. So that's going to keep it away from Florida. And like I said, the southeast, you know, the Carolinas and Florida. That's going to keep it away from Georgia, too. Should keep it away from portions of the Mid-Atlantic as well. But like I said, the northeast here, that's all up to how strong these systems are. See El Nino effects. El Nino actually makes hurricane seasons weaker, but this season it's been above average. Yeah, it's been above average. You know, the Hurricane Center was actually forecasting this too. I think it's the Atlantic conditions that's causing this. Yeah, the Atlantic conditions has a big play as well. I mean, obviously it's the Atlantic we're talking about. But yeah. Now, usually it's the La Nina years we get the big activity. Like I said, we had 2020, the most named storms, 30 named storms in 2020, which is absolutely nuts. We had so many named storms out there. Most active hurricane season was in 2020. 2020 was a crazy year. It really was. Let's see here. Certainly feels like a fall day today. Yeah, it does here too. Actually, yeah, let's see, right now. Yeah, it's been in like the 70s all day here in Kentucky. So it's been nice. It's been nice. We're actually coming right around the corner. I think it's on the 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. Fall's on the 23rd this year. Which it's weird, because it's usually on the 21st, I've noticed. Let's see here. KM says, can you explain why the show... can you explain when you show the Euro tonight? It now shows going into Rhode Island. Yeah, we mentioned that a minute ago. That's what I was saying, is that there's a really big change in the model runs here. Here, let me show you. We're going to go to the U.S. East Coast. Let's see here. Eastern U.S. Here we go. So, from this morning... Is it not done? Wait. Oh, never mind. We're good. I was looking at the wrong thing. So, this morning, we were watching the system. So, this was the previous run from this morning, right? So, the system just kind of, you know, goes out. And actually, it has it dodging Nova Scotia there overall, right? So, you know, that is the thing. So, this was showing it, like I said, the previous model was showing it go out to sea. But the new model, complete opposite. Complete opposite there. That's like one of the only main models that supports this right now. It's a big difference. Huge difference. But like I said, you know, even though this shows a pretty large hurricane hitting the Northeast, like I said, do not panic right now, because this is one model, this is one opinion, and for this point being, look at this, it's September 17th. This is for September 17th, and right now it's only the end of the 9th, so we have about a week. We have about a week out from now to this point here. So there's going to be changes. There's going to be changes. Like I said, there's no reason to freak out. We get an idea about 5 days out on where it's going to go. So within the next 2 days, we'll have a better understanding of what's going on. Yeah. Let's see. And like I said, you know, I wouldn't even be surprised if this next run from the European model, the Zero Zulu, has it going back out east. This could just be like a freak incident in the model. Because I've seen models do that. I've seen them, you know, target one area for a while and they do just one crazy run, and then the next thing you know, they're right back at it again. So, but like I said, yeah, don't freak out because of that. Like I said, this is just one run, one model. I mean, like I said, the GFS model, you know, shows it well away from the Northeast. But what I can tell you will happen is that the coast, like I was saying, from all the way down from Florida up to, I'd even say Maine, yeah, We're going to get some real big waves out from the system. I mean, even if it's, like I said, even if it's not close to the shoreline, there's going to be some big waves. And some, surging, or not surging, I always say that, swelling potential, as well as the overall verdict here with the rip currents. Rip currents is the big one. Let's see here. See, it's going right for Bermuda, says Black Mamba. So some of the models has it getting close to Bermuda. So, for example, you can actually see here, the GFS model. Let me actually go ahead and zoom in here to you guys. So, let's see, 12 Zulu. Here we go. So that little speck right there, that's Bermuda, according to the American GFS model. So, like I said, according to the GFS, it has it right around 30 to 40 knot sustained winds, which, that's pushing lower end tropical storm force. So the GFS shows tropical storm force winds being a possibility. Like I said, the wind field on this thing is absolutely massive. It's an absolute massive, massive storm here. Let's say right now it's only a fraction of the size of what this is expected to turn into. But, I mean, like I said, yeah, Bermuda right there. Going to be around the 30 to 40 knot range sustained. So, that, like I said, that's right around, right there around tropical storm force. Then, of course, we have ourselves the ECMWF here, the European model overall. And, yeah, the Euro here, the latest... Oh, keep on grabbing soundings by accident. The latest European model has it right around 30 to 35 knots, which... It's pushing. It's really pushing it. But I'd say that Bermuda could possibly see tropical storm force conditions. I don't think hurricane conditions right now, but I think definitely tropical storm force conditions could be possible. Let's see here. I'm actually going to bring you guys back over here to the North Atlantic. So in terms of the CMC model, yeah, same thing with the CMC, kind of shows it within that 30-40 degree, or sorry, 30-40 knot threshold there. So I think that Bermuda possibly could get some tropical storm force winds. It's a possibility. Let's see here. Carlos saying hello. Greetings from Puerto Rico. Blessings for all too. All quiet over here. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Well, hello from the U.S., Carlos. Hope you're having a good day, man. And, yeah, I think you're good. The only thing we got to watch out for, like, Puerto Rico is the northern side. The northern side of Puerto Rico. Because there's going to be some big waves. There's going to be some big waves out there. And I can actually already show you that right now. Let me bring up North America here. So you can see it's really hard to see. Or actually, Puerto Rico's right there. Oh, you can't even see that. There we go. So Puerto Rico's right there. So later on down in time, the waves, they're going to get pretty big. It looks like the peak could be right around like the 12th. So basically in 2 days from now, we're going to have the peak waves on the northern side. And those waves are going to be possibly 15 to 20 feet. And of course, as the system rolls through, then it's going to slow down a bit. Or the waves are going to, withdraw a bit overall. But like I was saying, there's going to be some big waves and there's going to be some rip current concerns. Like I said, obviously for the Caribbean islands too, like the Bahamas, we got the Lesser Antilles, the northern side, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, we got Haiti, we got Cuba, Jamaica. I don't think Jamaica will feel this one though. But like I said, yeah, portions of Cuba, Bahamas, Haiti, we got ourselves Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico and the northern Lesser Antilles. I think you guys are going to be feeling those big waves. Yeah, you guys are probably going to be feeling those big waves. Let's see. Foxy says the Euro model hits the United States. I could be wrong, but it's because it's slower than the GFS. See, it's way faster. It would completely avoid. Not particularly. They're just what's going on with the different models is just different calculations. Each model has different calculations overall. It doesn't really have much to do with the speed. It has a little bit to do with the speed, but not, fully just the speed alone. Let's see here. The overall verdict that's different from the European model is the fact that we have this high-pressure squeeze far to the east, which has helped keeping it funneling into the country. So it's kind of funneling the storm into the country here. The GFS model yeah, you can see that the high pressure, you know, by the time it gets to the northeast, the high pressure is, you know, just starting to go to the north of the system, which is just, you know, overall that's that. Let's see, it's going to turn late and hit the East Coast as SKSK. It's not impossible, but like I said, I wouldn't count on it right now. Let's see, right? Yes, man. I'm from the southeast side of the island. Gotcha, Carlos. So then, yeah, you should be fine. You shouldn't really feel this too much. Let's see. I'm on, let's see, North Carolina coastal. What's the chances it hits? 5%. I'd even say less than that. Less than 5%. Like I said, once again, the models, the ensembles. Here's the GEPS. The GEPS ensembles here, and you can kind of see how the GEPS models track to the northwest and then turn there for the 13th, pull to the north. So you can see the middle ground is well away from the Carolinas, well away from North Carolina. So even the furthest west member has it still relatively off the coast of North Carolina by quite a ways. But then we have ourselves the that was the GEPS. Now we have the GEFS. The GEFS, you can see, is a lot further away from North Carolina overall. So northwest track turns for the 13th. This one has it remaining pretty far away from Bermuda. Then it pulls north and goes right over there towards Nova Scotia there. But yeah, no, the odds, like I said, I think they're less than 5%. Like I said, even the main hurricane models, there's none that has it continuing moving west in that direction. I think you're good. Let's see. How much do I think the wind shear could change in the coming days? Let's see. That's a good question. So it definitely can change. You know, it depends on the magnitude of the system, how strong that low is going to be forming, how strong the cold front is in general. Will have a lot to do with it. You know, what I also think is a consideration to, you know, take note with is the fact that we are going to be seeing, obviously, that jet's going to be there because it's cold front. But I think it's probably going to allow for the storm to weaken pretty quickly. You know, kind of similar because recently we just had Lee go through that little pocket of wind shear. That was kind of moderate wind shear. We're talking high wind shear whenever it rolls into these winds. So I think it's going to really hurt the storm. I think it's going to really hurt it. But yeah, like I said, just kind of what it seems to be a possibility. Like, I'll go ahead and show you guys real quickly. There's the jet right there, so you guys can see it. Jet right here. So that big jet there is going to be pushing to the northeast, while the storm is going to be tracking to the northwest, and they're going to converge on each other. And then it's just going to pull north from there. But like I said, depending on how west it goes, we don't know how far west it's going to go right now. We have an idea that the track, you know, could do something like that, just remain well to the west of Bermuda for the most part. Still could see some effects, but that's, yeah, what happens up here is still a big question mark. Still is a big question mark. Let's see here. ECMWF is going to New York. It does, yep. But like I said, that could change in the next update. I mean, we'll just have to see. Because like I said, I mean, from the point of the European model, even though, yes, it does show it getting right there on the coast of the Northeast, even though it shows that, look at the date, September 17th. That is several days away. I mean, that is literally still a week out from now. And you guys know that weather changes quickly, right? So a lot's going to happen in a week. And the model's going to have a week to run, runs 4 times a day. Let's see here, 4 times a day. So we have 28 more ECMWF runs. You put it to that perspective, as we have 28 more runs to go through. So there's going to be some differences. And divided those by 2, so that's the big run. So 14 big runs, 14 smaller runs, and total together 28 runs. Let's see. Michigan won't get anything from the hurricane, right? No. No, Michigan won't get a single drop of rain from this guy. You shall be fine. Yeah, Michigan's way out here. And like I said, this is worst case scenario too. You know, some of the models have it going well east. I mean, you can see the storm's well away from Michigan for the most part. I think you're fine. Let's see. What category will Lee be when it gets to the northeast? It would be lower end. It would be a lower end hurricane. It wouldn't be anything major. Probably right around Cat 1. Somewhere in that threshold. Let's see. I'll go and bring up the winds here to take a look. Northeast. So, actually, let me do this. Here we go. Lee. 12. Okay. So, yeah, it has sustained winds, you know, as it approaches the north. Like, so there's that right. Oh, it's hard to see. You guys can't see it. But right here, this is Cape Cod, okay? Literally right here. A little, like 1 or 2 pixels more to the west is Cape Cod. So, at this point of it nearing, you know, the latitude of Cape Cod, we're talking sustained winds of around 75 knots, which is Cat 1. And of course, we have, like I said, the European model. At this range, yeah, once again, the European model goes ham on this last one. We're talking actually right around 62 knots sustained. Let's see here. Let me pull this up real quickly. So this would be 62 knots. That's 71 sustained. So that would actually be like upper tropical storm force. Yeah, at that point being. Like I said, once again, y'all, though, like I said, this is going to change. Don't freak out because we see one model hitting the northeast. Like I said, honestly, it's kind of expected to see a couple models do something like this, but, I mean, you should still watch out for it. Like I said, I'm not saying it won't happen, but I'm also not saying it will happen, okay? Right now, you just got to keep an eye on it for the next several days, and we'll get more information with it. We'll obviously, you know, keep you guys informed overall. Let's see here. Michelle says, how will the Bahamas be affected by Lee? So, the Bahamas will be impacted by the waves, and the waves only, for the most part. Let me go ahead and show you. So, this is the ECMWF here. So, the Bahamian Islands are right in here. Okay, so this is the Bahamian Islands, right there. So, you can see that as we approach closer, the Bahamian Islands actually kind of shield the other portions of like the Western Caribbean from being impacted by those big waves. But the waves could get pretty daggone high, probably 20 plus foot out there, being a possibility. But that's about all the effects we're probably going to see on this one. Let's see, what would the wave heights be for Bermuda? So the current model run from the ECMWF has those probably right around like 35, probably around 30 to 40 foot, according to the ECMWF here. It's actually been the last couple of runs overall. Yeah. Let's see. I hope we get the hurricane here in New Hampshire. We need some excitement here, says Timothy. I wouldn't hope for a bad storm like this, because if this hits the northeast, it's going to be very destructive. So don't really want to wish anybody in harm's way. I mean, I get that you might like storms and stuff, but for hitting such a populated area like the northeast, it's gonna hurt. Let's see here. Hi, Andrew. Everyone else back home from vacation. What's up, Scott? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here. Let's see. How high would the waves be in New York? Like I said, depends on the track right now, but in the waves, just off the U.S. northeast coast could be well over 15 foot potentially. Like I said, it's gonna change. It's gonna change. But anyway, so here's the current cone, you guys. Once again, this is the latest information coming through on the storm. Like I said, right now it is a Cat 3 still. Still is a Category 3 with sustained winds of 115. We're getting gusts. I know this says 0 miles an hour. We're obviously getting wind gusts stronger than 0 miles an hour. I'd say probably 10 to 20 mile an hour higher. Then it continues to the northwest. It looks like some... Let's see here. So it's 115 now. So it looks like from here on out it's going to start strengthening again, which it looks like it's already trying to do. Then it's going to become a Category 4 again here for the morning of the 11th. So for the morning of the 11th, we're going to get ourselves the system strengthening back into a Cat 4. This can be downgraded yet again to a Cat 3 here, probably right around the afternoon of the 13th. Why did it weaken? Because it dealt with some wind shear. So, here, let me show you. I can probably bring this back quite a few frames. Alright, let me bring you all over here. Actually, let's see. Can I go back even further than this? Hold on. It's gonna take a minute, y'all. I gotta pull up the overall view here. Gotta wait for this to load for the most part. Yeah, wow, look at that thing. So it was dealing with, yeah, there you go. You can really see it there. A lot of shear. Yeah, a lot of wind shear is what the problem was overall. But it's definitely trying to get its eye back together. It's definitely trying to kick back up. You can see that, wow, last scan really had some serious convection on it. Yeah, we're giving this thing a minute to load, y'all. Could take a few minutes. Let's see. Okay, here we go. We're coming up on it now. Any second now. There we go. Yeah, so bubbles of convection. We had some strong wind shear, though. That's what caused it to weaken a bit. The winds were pretty strong. They're, you know, kind of ripping apart the storm overall. But then, like I said, you can see that convection really start to kick back up here in the center. Yeah, it's looking a lot better. It's definitely looking a lot better. There he goes, right there, last minute. All right, we're just gonna keep it right there. So that's the last frame. This is the last view. So the center is right here. And we're getting some big convection on the western flank of the storm. So there's no eye right now visible, but it's definitely been trying to get that eye back together here. Let's see here. See, it bumps shoulders with some wind shear. Yeah, pretty much. So I can't believe what's happened with the European model. It's come to Long Island. Like I said, it's a big change. A big change from the previous model run before that. Here. Because like I was showing you guys, whenever it came to the run this morning, whenever we did our live stream this morning to cover, you know, give you guys updates on it, that was at the 00 Zulu. And the 00 Zulu run had the system overall. You can see steering out to sea. You can see how it added, like, just doing a big curve out to sea, not hitting any areas of land. But then you have the new model, the one that just came out, and it's showing the complete opposite, going right there at the coast. I mean, that is a big difference. That is at least, like, I'd say at least 500 to 750 miles apart from each other. I mean, it's a big gap. Looks like another scary storm. Yeah, there's another storm. There's another disturbance we need to monitor. It's right there. It's going to be heading off here. I'm sure the Hurricane Center is going to be talking about it soon if they haven't already. This morning they didn't have anything on it, but all the main models support it. Another possible tropical cyclone here. Let me actually see if they do. Wow. I'm surprised they don't have anything worded on it. They don't have anything out on the Hurricane Center's website yet. But we're going to have another tropical wave roll off the west coast of Africa here within the next little bit. Right now it's located like right in here. And it's going to roll off. Probably actually remain south. Yeah, it's going to remain south of the Cabo Verde. It's kind of right in there. And then who knows what it's going to do after that. Who even knows if it's going to, like I said, we don't know what's going to happen with this one, but it's going to probably kick off somewhere. You know, it looks very possible. Let's see, it looks like 2 hurricanes. There's a second storm, if you guys didn't know. I knew some of you guys probably knew about it. we mentioned it earlier here, but we have another storm out there. It's not just Lee. We got this guy too, which this one is Margot. Yeah, Tropical Storm Margot. Right now, it is a tropical storm, kind of a weak tropical storm. Sustained winds of 45, higher gusts. And it is forecasted to be a hurricane here. Right here for right around the afternoon of the 12th, it looks like. But it's going to remain well out in the central Atlantic. It shouldn't cause any problems to anybody. So I ain't too worried about this one. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know if this is true, but did Tropical Storm Jova like hit Category 5 for a little bit? It did. Yep. We had Jova's out here. This is out in the EPAC, Eastern Pacific. And right now it is just kind of a lower middle end tropical storm right now. It's dying out. But no, it did hit Cat 5 at one point, just like Lee did. Lee hit Cat 5 for a little bit too. Let's see here. Marcia says, when is it supposed to hit Massachusetts if it hits? That's if it hits. Like I said, that's not determined, but it should be, according to the model's averages, in this field, somewhere in this area, I should say, between the 16th and the 17th. Between the 16th and the 17th. Like I said, we're not even sure it's going to hit land. We're still not confident on it yet. There's a couple models that have it getting close. We have some models hitting it, hitting Nova Scotia. We have some other models. New ECMWF having it hitting the Northeast. But it's still not solid. It's still not for sure going to happen. But the date range would be between the 16th and 17th. See if the European correct. All of New England would get hit. A lot of New England would get hit if the European was correct. Let's hope it's not. But I will mention, like I said, there's a big change from the last run to this one. It's a little suspicious, honestly. I mean, the fact that the model changed that much in one single run, it just goes to show you that there's things going to change. That's what I mentioned. Could this hurricane possibly strengthen again? It is forecasted to. It's actually on the verge right now of starting to strengthen again. Mary says we can play the if game all night and not get one answer. Pretty much. Luckily the storm won't be too big. Are you talking intensity or size? Because size, this thing's going to be a beast. Really large storm. Let's see here. Marcia says, thank you so much for always replying. You're very welcome. So I try to get to everybody I can. Will Pennsylvania get hit? We don't know. I mean, it's going to come real close to the Northeast to my liking. That's kind of a thing that's been talked about. Once again, here's the previous European model. This was the ECMWF, the European model. This was the Zero Zulu run from basically pretty much like late, like basically morning. Zero Zulu, let's see, I think that's 8 p.m. yesterday. And then the new big run just came through at around 8 a.m. today. It's very delayed. It's very delayed at running, by the way. That's just whenever the model starts to run. But like I said, big differences. Big differences. I mean, we go from the core being, in the beginning, we go from the core being like over here to the core. I mean, like I said, look at look how big the gap is between those two model runs. Like I said, at least 500 plus. All the models were in such agreement for Nova Scotia. That's what happens. Yeah, for real. Yeah, yesterday, like I said, the CMC, the ECMWF, and the GFS were all on point yesterday. And now they're all over the place again. So, like I said, I mean, at this point being, like I was explaining, guys, this is 6 to 7 days out. By the time it gets up in this quadrant up here, 6 to 7 days out. There's a lot of things that can change. If it comes to New York, would I suggest people evacuate? It's a really good question. Depends on the strength. The point being, I mean, if it's like a tropical storm with like minor, swelling and stuff like that, I would just say to ride it out. Because New York, like I said, New York has some big skyscrapers. Because you want to get a high ground with these systems here due to flooding concerns. Let's see. All right, see you later, Mary. But yeah, like I said though, there's once again, this is the 6 to 7 day range. I mean, this is still like a week out. It still is a while out. So gonna see things happen. Things are gonna change. Let's see here. So in the middle of the two paths. What do you mean the middle of the two paths? Can I show the model runs again? Of course I can. Let me go ahead and show you real quickly. So we're gonna start off with the GFS. Here's the latest run. So the GFS tracks northwest here. Then, like I said, we as we approach September 13th, then we're gonna start pulling north. Reason is like I was saying, we have ourselves this big jet here, big current of air going right over Florida. This is gonna keep it away from Florida, like I said, while the storm tracks. While the storm tracks to the northwest, the wind shear and the storm are gonna collide, and they're just gonna basically just go north. So the system is gonna be pulling to the north to some extent. The westerly, how far west it'll go, that's what we don't know. We know its overall way it's going to be pulling north. We know that for pretty much a certain now. But we just, we don't know how far west it's going to go at the moment. But yeah, so the GFS model, here's the latest run. Got some high pressure blocking up across the Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic Northeast here. This keeps it away from the U.S. coast, but it gets pretty close with possible near tropical storm force winds, weak low end, if that even. And like I said, obviously, the waves are still regardless. I mean, like I said, the waves regardless of where this thing goes, the whole U.S. East Coast is going to feel some serious, waves out there. Rip currents, swelling, all that. But the GFS has it hitting Nova Scotia there. Then we have, like I said, the European model, the latest one. Same thing, tracking to the northwest here. Then obviously we get that kick here for right around the September 13th mark. Start pulling north just to the west of Bermuda, causing some big problems with the oceans, like right across the coastlines in terms of, like I was saying, across the regions for like rip currents and all that. And then, like I was saying, according to the latest ECMWF, it goes right next across the northeast here, as high pressure slips in, kind of funnels it into the northeast. Like I said, right now it's unknown if that's going to be the case or not. Like I said, I want you guys to know that, okay? I want you guys to know that. And then, of course, we have other models like the CMC. The CMC agrees with the GFS for the most part. You can see that cold front rolling through. It changes the track more to the east. Then it goes back north again as a high pressure slips in through. And that's going to hit, it has it hitting Nova Scotia. So GFS and the CMC agree with Nova Scotia, and obviously the ECMWF has it to the northeast. Icon, this one doesn't go out as far yet. Let's see. Yeah, the furthest, actually, no, this Icon model does. Yep, the 12 Zulu does. It ends right as it gets next to Nova Scotia. So actually, it seems like Nova Scotia is like one of the possible areas this thing could be at. I think the European model will dominate. Let's hope not. Let's hope that's not the case. Yeah, like I said, definitely let's hope it's not the case. What's the other hurricane? This one's going to stay mostly out to sea, which is this one, which this name is Margot. It's going to pull to the north here, and it's just going to do that. But if you're talking about this one, there is another tropical wave that's going to roll off the west coast of Africa. It hasn't popped up on the Hurricane Center yet. I bet you guys by tomorrow it will be there. Probably late tomorrow it'll be there. Would not be surprised. Anyways. But, yep. Like I said, at the current moment with Lee, like I said, right now, we are still Cat 3. We're a Category 3 hurricane with sustained winds of 115 with higher gusts up there. We're talking, picking up some strength as we work our way out here to the west overall, or to the northwest, I should say. then this thing does become forecasted to become a Category 4 hurricane here, right for the morning of the 11th here. Possible sustained winds of 130 with gusts getting up to right around 160 potentially. And then, holding Cat 4 for a little bit, then kind of weakening, maybe a little bit as it pulls north. But you can see the cone now. The cone definitely has this thing pulling to the north. So that's that. Let's see, Category 2 hurricane by the time it gets towards New York. No, it doesn't look. I don't think it'll get that big, because you got to think it's going to be dealing with wind shear, dry air, and cooler surface temperatures of the ocean. It's going to weaken a bit. I mean, it still could be within like Cat 1 threshold. That's possible, but like I said, Cat 2, I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's see here, New York City might be some trouble possibly. Who knows? Yeah, let's hope not. Let's definitely hope not. Let's just hope it, honestly, like I said, the best case scenario is this storm just exits. And, that just doesn't hit any areas. Let's hope that's the case. But like I said, even if it does that, even if it does that, like I was saying, the whole U.S. East Coast here, basically from Fort Lauderdale up until you reach like northern Maine, big time rip currents, as well as some swelling of the water, slightly above sea level could be possible because of the bigger waves and all that. Let's see. Wait, it's gonna reach New York. It's not for sure right now. It's not for sure. We'll probably know. We'll probably know what this thing's gonna do here. Give it like 3 days, 2 to 3 days, and we'll have an idea of where it's probably gonna hit, if it hits anywhere. I mean, there's a chance. There is a pretty decent chance that it could, get near some of these regions here. Somewhere there's a chance it could get near there. Let's see. Was I surprised this afternoon with the European model? Yes, you should have seen my face. I was like, what? Dude, my jaw was dropped when I saw that. I was expecting it to, continue its same last thing we looked at. I mean, like I said, the last run, I should say. The Zero Zulu we looked at this morning. Yeah, had it really pulling out to the northeast. No problem. No problem not hitting any area of land. Going right around Bermuda. And then just going right between. Just going, out. But like I said, then the latest model came through. Absolute ridiculous. Has it slamming right in the northeast. But can I say I'm surprised? No, because like I said, this is far out. This is far out. This is going to change. See here. It's going to be somewhere else likely in tomorrow's run. Exactly. I mean, all I can tell you with confidence is that the storm is going to be moving, and then it's going to pull to the north. That's about as far as I'm confident. Right in here. It's going to be right in that area. That's as far as confidence as I'm going to have right now. What happens at this level, we don't know. We don't know. Anything could happen. Let's see here. NHC already highlighted the other area. Did they just do that? No way. They just did that! We literally just looked at this a minute ago. The 8 p.m. update. What did I tell you guys? You guys heard me, right? You guys heard me say that. That here soon. I was expecting it tomorrow, but there it is. See, 30%. They actually have another one, too. 30-30. That's interesting. So apparently one's already out in the water. Atlantic wide. Oh, wow. So that's actually, I think that's this guy right here. Goodness. Let's see here. The NHC is watching us. Yeah, it looks like it. How are the hurricane hunters doing? Let's check on them. We did not look at them, did we? Yeah, they're in the storm right now. 961 millibars. And the winds, we did get some winds that were reported, pretty high on that previous scan. Yeah, the pressure's in like the lower 960s, upper 950s right now. Looks like it says 204. I was like, wait, they dropped 204 204 drop signs. I'm like, wait a minute. But no. Big Bluetooth symbol they're making. But nope, they're getting ready to I think they're getting ready to fly back into it again. So they started like this. They're probably gonna do something like this. Or, sorry, probably gonna go like this, and then they might just go back home at that point because they're gonna run low on fuel eventually. So, but yeah, we got one run and we got one current plane in it. Let's see here. I want to take a look at the environment. Let's see, that's the one drops on one. Hold on, you guys. I want to look at this real quickly. Yeah, pretty saturated mid-levels. Or middle scan, I should say. Yeah, they're flying right about 850 millibars. Wow. Looks like it's dry at the top. Anyways. Let's see. Any other runs doing the same, hitting the northeast? Not really. We got some ensembles. Some ensembles show this thing getting near the northeast, but barely. Yeah, here's the GEPS ensembles here. You can see how it tracks northwest, pulls north. There's a couple models getting close, but you can see the majority of them are, well, just east of the northeast here overall. Do I expect Idalia and Lee to be the worst storms? There's really no way of telling. Really no way of telling. But then we have, let's see here, back over here at the, so that was the GEPS. Yeah, here's the GEFS. It's a little closer to the northeast. And of course we have the main spaghettis, the main spaghetti models. Track northwest turns there for the not the 23rd, the 13th, not the 23rd. Storm's gonna be well gone by the 23rd, but for the 13th. Yeah, all of it's just west of Bermuda, but you can see they all turn north because of that strong upper level winds we have. Looks like the high pressure might be weak. Yeah, it depends. Let's see here. But yeah. See how bad is minus 50 millibar. What? What are you talking about? Let's see here. Yes it is. There we go. Now we look at this, guys. So this was the previous scans. So you can see how it had the eye. Then the eye became destabilized with the wind shear starting to affect it. There we go. Yeah, we got. Yeah, it was a beast at this scan. This is when it was a Cat 5. You can see the upper level winds got to it. It's looking better now, though. You see once it weakened a bit, then obviously, you know, it got really weak like right here. And then now, in the latest frames, you can see it's starting to look a lot better. Starting to whirl around a lot better. What's the chances of New York hit? There's no way we can tell the percentages right now. See, when to get its eye back. Never mind. This is Aiden. Yeah, no, this was earlier. This is back in its life. This is not right now. But, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if it does get its eye back here soon. But anyways, like I said, yeah, it is expected to pick up a bit of strength though. Overall, it is forecasted to pick up a bit of intensity overall. And like I said, I would definitely not be surprised if this thing does develop its eye by tomorrow. I'd say it's actually a really good possibility here overall. Try for evacuation would be bad. So let's hope it doesn't get to that point, dude. You know, we don't want it to do that. We don't want it to get to that point. Let's see here. All right. Well, guys, I think we just about covered everything for tonight. We've been live a little over an hour. So I think we're probably going to head off here soon, guys. I'm going to call it a night, get some sleep, give you guys some more updates tomorrow. Yeah, we'll be live tomorrow at just whenever I wake up. Probably, well, you know what? I might actually push it to a little bit later tomorrow. I'm thinking maybe like 12, maybe noon or so. We'll see. Why the news channel's not talking about it? They do. The news channels are talking about it. But all right, well, guys, I think we're gonna go ahead and head off here for now. I really appreciate you guys being here, and we do have our donator here for today, our special donator. See, we have to give obviously got to give a big thanks to our supporters out there. You know, for helping the channel, everything like that. And like I said, Tabletop Dude, thank you so much for helping out. Greatly appreciated. And like I said, we'll be back here tomorrow. Will the storm be worse than Sandy? We don't know. Like I said, we have a lot we don't know. We don't know the track, the size, the intensity as it gets up into these areas. We don't know. Like I said, the confidence starts to get really low once we get up into this region even. So, but that's that. All right, you guys. Well, you all have a wonderful rest of your nights. Like I said, we'll catch you guys tomorrow at some point here. Like I said, probably around noon, maybe a little afternoon. We'll see. We'll have to just keep you guys in the loop of everything. Keep you guys posted and everything like that. But once again, if you guys did enjoy it, please consider leaving a like and subscribe if you guys have not already. We greatly appreciate y'all. We're getting very close to, we're getting real close to 19,000, guys. Before you know it, we might even hit 20,000 here soon, which is absolutely crazy. So, can't thank anybody else but you guys. Really appreciate all the support. But, all right. Well, you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. The stream's going to head off here in approximately 2 minutes. So, if there's any questions you guys, or anything you want to say to your friends and family, or anybody who's hanging out in the chat you're with, go ahead and say your final goodbyes. And, like I said, if you guys do want to chat after the stream, we do have our Discord. Discord's down in the description. Merch is down there as well, and all that stuff. But all right, you guys. Well, y'all have a wonderful rest of your night, and we'll catch you guys here later on tomorrow. All right, y'all. See you then. Peace out.